Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited today to have a very special guest, Susie Nelson-Smith, here with me in my studio. We just had 4 incredible days of sound and crystal healing workshops here in the studio, and today we are going to share some of Susie's insights with you. We are talking all about the magic of sound, how it works and how you can use it to transform your life. So, welcome Susie.
Thank you, Olivia. It's lovely to be here with you.
To start, would you like to introduce yourself and, most importantly, how sound came into your life?
Well, hi. My name is Susie Nelson-Smith. I live in Australia. I travel the world and have done for many years teaching sound therapy and also crystal therapy with crystals and gems. I absolutely love what I do. It's been a real pathway for me. It's been a personal development pathway, but it's also been a spiritual pathway for me because that's how I've viewed it. It's enriched my life in so many ways.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you've been working and teaching and sharing sound for decades.
Yes.
When did you start?
I first heard about crystal singing bowls in 1997. I started in 1998. I began working with crystal tones in, it was about 2002, 2001. So that's about 25 years, 26, over 26 years, reaching up to the 27, I think, with crystal tones. And I've been working with crystal singing bowls as a healing modality. I had the courses accredited, and so I teach a professional 12-month and an 18-month certificate for and diploma courses in crystal sound therapy. So my first introduction was a friend called me and said, I've just seen a paragraph in a magazine I thought you'd be interested in. They're now making musical instruments as a bowl using quartz crystal. Well, I went crazy. I was so excited because I'd already been working with the mineral kingdom with crystals and gems as a healing modality since I completed my training in Hawaii over a 2-year period with Katrina Raphael in 1995. So then to find here was another form of crystal that could then be played musically, I just thought, well, it was a superpower really that I wanted to have. So it was a very exciting time for me. And so that's how it started.
Yeah. Wow. So sound and crystal healing must have been very different back then. How was it? Was it very common? Were you really the first out there sharing about sound and crystal? How was it back then?
Well, I wouldn't like to say I was the first because I don't know, but I didn't know anybody else that was doing it. And when I traveled, I had something called the Traveling Troubadour Tour that I did over a 10-year period in Australia. I would pack up my bowls, get into my little van that I had. I would travel to a town where I had set up previously. It was organised, and I would play, usually in a yoga centre. I'd do a concert, and then the next day I might present a 1 or 2 day workshop. Then I'd pack up, put everything in the van, and tootle off to the next town. And so I was doing that, as I said, over a 10-year period, and it took me from south in Tasmania, which is the little island off the south coast of way down in Australia, and I would teach there right up to Cairns, which is way north in Queensland, so thousands and thousands of kilometres. And I loved it. I felt every time I packed up the bowls and I got into my van, I felt as if I had my gypsy shoes on. And I'd have a little picnic basket, thermos of tea, and off I'd trot. So on my travels, I didn't ever meet anybody else that was doing crystal playing with the bowls. So I would have been, I could say, one of the first in Australia. And so I was quite isolated, really, I taught myself to play the bowls. I wrote the courses myself because I did have a lot of training with that. I have a couple of degrees in English literature and a postgraduate in communication management. And I had worked as a CEO in a training centre. So it was very natural for me to write. And so I did that and started teaching in the year 2000. And the first course I taught was about chakras. And when I got to the Manipura chakra, and I'd teach once a week for 7 weeks, all of the main chakras. And when I got to the Manipura, which is the solar plexus, I thought to myself, I know why I've written this course, because I need to know more about those lower chakras. I was very comfortable working from the heart up, but I feel as if I really needed to reconnect much more strongly with my physical body. And so, I taught what I also needed to learn more about. And so that first course with the chakras then expanded into my 12-month Certificate 4 course, and then beyond into my diploma course.
Thank you so much for sharing your own story with us. And for those who are new in sound healing, how would you describe sound healing in easy words?
Gosh, so sound healing, well, there's lots of different forms of sound healing. So how I would describe the crystal bowls as a sound healing modality is that it is a form of music that is ambient. And I feel that the way that I like to play the bowls, the premise from which I do all of my sessions is to assist the person or the group to find the peaceful place within. Because I do believe that if you can find the quiet place within yourself, the stillness, and nothing else is going on, that is where the very deep transformation takes place. So I personally am not playing for entertainment, even though it is entertaining and there is that aspect to it. But always with my own personal work, I'm playing for peace, peace within the person, so that they have the opportunity to really transform and heal and find that place where the miracles happen. And I think the miracles happen in the quiet, in the stillness.
Yes, so true, especially in our modern world, it's so needed.
Yes.
So needed.
So if someone was just starting out and they're going to be, if they're attracted to the sound, well, of course, that's the first thing. Some people will love it and they'll want to go to a regular sound bath. Most people call it a sound bath or a meditation. There'll be some people that'll think, oh, I want one of those bowls and I can play it at home. Then there'll be others that'll say, I want a whole set. And that's a journey, getting a lovely either diatonic set or a chromatic set. Diatonic is 7, chromatic is 12. And then there'll be those that want to work with the bowls. They feel it as a calling. They may have just started with one bowl and then gradually, as they see the positive effect that sound has on their own body, their own family, they then may want to increase it. But there'll be some straight away that think, like I was when I got so excited, I just need to do that. I just need to do that. I can immediately see the benefit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Many people like myself, they just know it the moment they hear the
Yes.
crystal balls for the first time.
Yeah.
They just feel so called. It's touching us at the deepest level of ourselves, and
Yes.
that is when the journey begins.
That's it. That's where it begins. And I think there's a real calling for most of us want to be in balance. We want to feel harmony. We want to feel as if we're centered, we're strong, we feel at one in our world. And so this is the amazing thing with the crystal sound. We can cut ourselves, immediately our bodies go to that cut and start to heal. It's a natural process. And so where does that come from? That comes from our body's natural a desire or natural ability to make ourselves whole. So as we go through life and we have the ups and downs, it's called having a human experience. We have the ups and downs, we have trauma, we have all sorts of things happen to us. And how can we get back to that pure vibration that we were when we came into life? Yes, we came with some karmic directions that our soul is going to take in life, but we come in and we maintain that we are a pure seed of divine light. So how can we get back to that and get close to that throughout our life when we're taking the knocks and the shocks that being a human presents to us? And I found that the sound is such a profound way to get back to center.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Yes. And so even just playing one bowl or going to your local sound session and doing that on a regular basis can help bring you back to that center in such a profoundly peaceful way that I would love every yoga center, every medical practitioner, every psychologist and psychotherapist to have at least a bowl. I have some psychotherapists that I've worked with in Australia that at the end of their session, they'll just have one bowl that will take the person on a little meditation to end their session.
Yeah.
And what a benefit that has been. So we need to spread the word.
It's always a great beginning or a great start of every session, of every healing or transformation session, to go deeper into ourselves with the sound of the bowls. So
Yes.
talking about the bowls, could
Yes.
you describe what makes sound healing with crystal bowls so effective compared to other healing modalities?
Well, I think it's so effective because crystal tones that I work exclusively with, and you do too, and have done, for decades, they merge the mineral kingdom with quartz so that we get these beautiful, absolutely beautiful little works of art. Each one is a little mini work of art, and they're all unique. Even though you might get a row of rose quartz bowls, each one will just have an individuality about them. And I love that. I love that about the alchemy bowls. So working with the alchemy bowls means that we are harnessing what nature has spent millions, thousands of years of creating within the earth. Some crystals develop more quickly than others. Others have taken thousands, millions of years. They've had experiences of climate change. They have grown and developed in all sorts of environments within the earth. And so that wisdom of those experiences, different life force to us, of course, but that wisdom of having that experience has then been harnessed into these beautiful, beautiful alchemy bowls. And so it makes it very different. Each modality if it's been created well, it is a benefit to the human race and to all sentient beings. The alchemy crystal bowls have, I would say, the next octave. They're a higher octave. They are such a pure vibration that it lifts our vibration up to the next octave. And when you work with them over time, it helps lift all of our energies, our thought patterns, our emotional body starts to get balanced and be more inspired, because we're no longer losing ourselves into negativity. It helps keep our positivity up to a level where we can really be of a benefit to ourselves, our family, and others. So for me, the alchemy crystal bowls are a tool for the 21st century. Even though I started in the 20th century, the 21st century, they're known as part of the new medicine of the 21st century. And I feel that it takes us to the next octave on the spiral of life in our development as conscious beings.
Beautifully said. They really rise our vibrations and came here to support and to help. And many who work with the bowls, they see them as beings. They see them as little helpers, little guides, like maybe even little angels who came here to support us and lift us up. And what I would like to know is, you were just mentioning that the bowls are here for the 21st century, that they are the medicine of the 21st century. So we have a very busy world with all the opportunities and all the good things. It's still very busy. We have iPhones, we have WhatsApp, we get so many information throughout our day, and many people, they struggle with stress, they struggle with sleep. So what do you think, how do you see the alchemy bowls or sound healing can help people with those issues, with those struggles?
I think that's one of the aspects of the alchemy bowls that can help people the most. To play the bowls in a meditative way is how I like to play them, and that can help people deepen their sleep patterns. It assists with deepening meditation. It helps bring people more easily into a sense of stillness, even a 10 minutes. You know, a little pick-me-up at lunchtime. You've had stresses at work, take 10 minutes to just listen to the many crystal bowl meditations that are available online, and just take that quiet space for yourself with listening to the crystal bowls. So I think they are particularly useful, particularly beneficial for a stressful life or maintaining a peaceful one.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're a wonderful maintenance tool, and I think they are a fantastic musical instrument, a healing modality for transformation.
I loved a lot how you were saying even 10 minutes. It does not always have to be the 60-minute session. If you can't make it easy.
Yeah.
And even 10 minutes, they will suit you a lot and will help you to feel better in a second. Amazing. Would you like to share with us one or two experiences, like profound experiences that you had with people in your sessions receiving the sound of alchemy bowls?
Yes. Thank you for asking that, Olivia. I once did a community project. It was a 7-week project for people with chronic illness. I'm really interested in assisting people with chronic conditions. And we held it in a Quaker center, so the energy was beautiful. I asked some Reiki friends to come and join me. So we used crystals, we used crystal bowls, and we used Reiki. And we had a group of people with chronic illness that included cancer, HIV, and AIDS, peripheral vision loss, muscular neuropathy. So they were the ones in particular that I can recall. So I'll tell you about two of those. So the process that I created was to ask the people how they felt. We did 7 chakras. So I can remember we did a drawing before and after the session. And the gentleman who had, actually it was a family of 3 who had the muscular neuropathy, but it was more prominent in the male member of the family. And we did a before and after drawing, before the session, after the session. And I remember when we got to the heart, and he drew this little tiny heart. It was sort of dark brown. And after the session, well, the heart was like huge, and it had broken open with rays of golden light coming out of it. And I said to him, "Oh my, this is different from the first one you did." And he said, "Yes, I can't believe it." He said he walked with calipers and walking sticks, and his hands were like this. And he'd been told that he wouldn't improve and he would be in a wheelchair. So to walk with the calipers were helping him. And as I said, his hands were like were folded like this. And he didn't have any feeling from his knees down to his feet. He didn't have any feeling in his hands. So he said, "My heart is broken open because I had feeling in my legs." And he said, "I haven't felt anything. I haven't felt anything, for 10 years.
Wow.
So at the end of the time, I said, "What do you think that you've gained from this?" And he said, "I've got hope." I met him and his sister. They had to travel for 3 hours to get to the session each week. And a couple of years later, I was doing a concert in their town, and they came with flowers and chockies and things. And I said, "Oh, how have you been?" And he said after that 7-week project, he joined up with a Reiki teacher. He learned Reiki. He was giving himself Reiki every day. He joined a gym. He was going to the gym on a very regular basis, and he'd been able to take off the calipers. So I think, okay, did the crystal sound do that? What I think the crystal sound did was to give him hope, because there'd been a transformation. And then he took that energy of hope, and it gave him the impetus to then do the Reiki, do the gym, and he really got a tremendous benefit out of it. The other one I want to tell you about is the lady who came, who had lost her driver's license because she had did not have enough peripheral vision to be able to, see the cars coming. So we ended the session, and she'd also had a situation, a family situation where, for all these personal reasons, she wasn't able to see her grandchildren. So during the course of the 7 weeks, she'd come in, and it was around about the 5th week, she said, "Oh, my daughter contacted me, and they're bringing the children over." And she said, "They're letting us, they're staying overnight." So she was thrilled, and we thought, okay, there's been a shift, a change somehow in the emotional patterns in the family and also the mental patterns. And then she wrote to me 3 weeks later, and she said, "I've just been to have my annual eye test." And she said, "I've got my peripheral vision back, and I've just got my driver's license again." Said, "I can't tell you what a difference that's made to my life and my husband's life, that I can now drive." So there's a couple of examples
Wow.
of what's occurred with the crystal sound. Yeah.
So beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing those experience with us.
Yeah, welcome.
Is there a specific bowl, a frequency, a note that you love working with?
Oh my goodness. Gosh.
Probably all of them, like I do, but is there like a specific bowl or frequency that keeps drawing you back?
I do love the Divine Mother bowls. I've always loved the Divine Mother bowls. I love the Yagna bowls. I have a beautiful emerald and rose quartz, emerald bowl, which is my D, and a rose quartz, which is my F. They sound glorious together. I also have two super grade bowls that when played together, they're just gorgeous on their own. And I often put one of them into my orchestra of bowls when I'm playing. When I play them together, they create the most beautiful binaural. So I love those two bowls. But I could look at any bowl and fall in love with them because I think they're just all so unique. I have a platinum bowl, which I love, a beautiful A platinum bowl. I love my diamond A bowl. I have one that's 8 inches, and then I have my little platinum that's 6 inches. So playing the same note in a different octave is special. Yeah, I could go on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once you start, you never have enough bowls, and they just keep coming and keep coming and adding to the family. It's just very lovely.
Yes, one of my dear friends, she was a student, been a graduate for many, many years. She has 24 bowls. All of them have a name. And I remember when she asked me to name one of her bowls, I felt so honored. And I called her bowl Ambrosia.
Beautiful.
But she travels the world she's been in the Egyptian pyramids with little cavatina in her knapsack, get into the chamber, playing very discreetly. She plays regularly in Crete at the goddess ceremonies. Have another lovely friend, a student who has 60 bowls, and she plays them all. Yes, you know.
Bowler.
Yeah, bowler. Yeah, it's a never-ending experience, crystal bowler. And it's the alchemy crystal bowls from Crystal Tones that is the big passion and love.
Yes, they are very, very special.
Yeah.
So if somebody feels inspired to try to start with sound healing, what would you recommend? What would be the first step?
In studying,
receiving, what would you recommend to people? How can they start? How can they enter the world of crystal and sound healing?
I think first go and experience it. So if someone was to come to you so that you could play for them and they can see how that resonates with them, that's what I suggest back in Australia, to come up to my boutique temple, Crystal Bowl Temple, and play them. You know, let's play together, and I make them tea and we talk, and they have an opportunity to play the bowls and see what they resonate with on that particular day, because of course that can change. You know, that's one thing for sure, that we change regularly, and that's a good thing, because with crystal bowls, if you have a set, that means whatever the shift is, whatever's going on in your life at any point in time, there you've got your crystal bowls to be able to assist you.
True, so true. They are great help in all the ups and downs of life, and just friends to accompany throughout your life and on your way.
So how would you choose your first bowl? I think that's best to really come to a crystal bowl temple, your local one in your area. If there isn't one, well then get online and see. You know, often you can see someone talking, or you read their website and you think, oh yeah, I think I relate to that person, and give them a call. You know, go online and say, can I chat to you, and get your recommendations. I think that's a good place to start, with someone who knows the bowls, has knowledge, has information about the notes and how they can relate to individual people. And that's what I would recommend.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing all of your wisdom, your experience, your magic, your love.
Thank you, Olivia.
It's been exciting talking to you and studying with you for the past 4 days. It's been an amazing journey. And yeah, I think everybody is very inspired now to try or to learn more about sound healing. And we will put all of Susie's information in the show notes. So if you would like to learn more about Susie, or if you would like to study with her, then please look in the show notes. And yeah, thank you for listening. We hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day.